Okay, so I'm Joe Keefe, and I'm here with Maritime Reporter TV. We're here with Frank Christophersen, president of Raytheon Anschuetz, USA LLC, and Dave Garrett, director of business development of Raytheon Anschuetz. So we've got 3 or 4 questions. They've been kind enough to stop by during the show here. Are you guys having a good show so far?
Yes, we are. It's a great show.
How about you, Dave?
Excellent.
Great. All right, so let's launch right into the questions. I'm going to start with you, Frank, here. Raytheon's developed and introduced its next-level integrated navigation system. Can you tell us a little bit about it? What's changed and what's been improved?
So a lot of the changes is not really obvious to the naked eye, because a lot of the changes have taken place behind the scenes, and it has to do with a lot of the integrations part of it. We have optimized the level of integration, making it easier to integrate to third-party suppliers. You will see a little bit of changes on the economical side as well, but really most of the changes have been focused on the background, if you will. With that in mind, cost savings is a big thing for us, making it easier to install for the shipyards. And again, the overall level of integration is at a higher level than it was in the past. So, like I said, you look at it, but a lot of the changes are not noticeable because it's taking place behind the scenes.
Heard and understood. Dave, can you add to that a little bit?
I think the only thing I could add to that is because of the way the system is put together with a LAN redundancy. So all the signals and data is distributed to all the processors across the whole bridge system. So that gives all the information to each multifunction workstation. All the information is there, so they can do what they need to do at each position.
True integration in real time.
Right. Exactly.
Great. All right, so second question here. Your new sensor technologies are a big part of the INS. Tell us a little bit more about that as well. Dave, why don't you take this one?
Sure. So we have basically 2 things we'd like to highlight. First is our new radar transceiver. Basically, from the radar transceiver, we do all the processing upstairs, and we turn the raw video, which is full bandwidth, down into a LAN signal. And all that signal is then distributed to all the different processors. So each processor can take the radar video and do with it what it needs to do for the purpose that station is intended for. So if it's looking for target tracking, then it can do what it needs to do. If it's looking for ice, then it can do that also. So that's really what that's about. For the gyro system, we have a new system that we've just introduced that is basically it's called an HRG gyro, hemispherical resonator gyro system. It's based on vibration technology. It's been used in satellites for years, and it's finally gotten to a price point where we can use it in the marine field. It's got 100,000 hours mean time between failures. So that's roughly 10 or 11 years of this box sitting there and giving heading data out to all the different sensors on the ship without failure. So that's a big improvement over the all mechanical type systems or even the light sensitive systems like the fiber optic systems.
And that durability can translate into real savings down the road for the guy who decides to buy this.
Exactly.
Okay, great. Anything to add to that?
Well, the price point of the gyro, that technology has typically been expensive. It's now gotten down to a level where it's very comparable to a regular type gyro. And again, for the life of the gyro, it's much cheaper, obviously. No annual overhaul, no maintenance at all, truly maintenance-free, no moving parts. So it's a cost saver both from the shipyard's perspective and obviously from the ship owner's perspective.
We're going to amortize those costs over the lifetime of the vessel. Great. So Synapsis, let's talk a little bit about that. It's the world's first system which is type approved according to the IMO's new INS performance standards. I'm not going to read the acronym there, but tell us a little bit about what the achievements are. Where do you go from here?
Yeah, so that's a great question. I mean, really the main achievement is that we got it type approved, and we are the first company to manage to do that. And as we have touched on earlier, we have done some improvements on the radar. We've done some improvements on the gyro. What we're currently working on now is on the ECDIS side, and the next development is going to be heavily concentrated on that. There are new standards coming out from that perspective as well. Using that same sort of technology of improved integration, higher reliability, reduced workload on the crew, that sort of thing. That's what we're focusing on now on the ECDIS side of it.
Terrific. Anything to add to that, Dave?
Nope, I think you covered it.
Great. So the last question is sort of mine here, and then it's a selfish question. A couple of years ago, we came here to SMM, and Raytheon had introduced it was a was a pilot program where they had a tablet that had all of the data, or you could pick out 5 or 6 metrics from the navigation system, and it could be taken anywhere on the vessel. If the master was down at the officer's saloon eating dinner, he could know what was happening on the bridge with the third mate. I'm wondering, where are we with that technology, and are we any closer to getting that to reality?
So a big part of the reason they did that 2 years ago was to show that how information can be displayed in different configurations to match what is required. So we're using that type of technology on the bridge a little bit now, but all that is subject to approval, so the hardware has to be approved and that kind of thing. However, we are displaying that type of information in different locations in the ship. It may not be wireless, because getting wireless through a ship is difficult, but captain's displays and engineering conning positions, those kind of things, we're doing that now quite frequently on most of our installations.
Terrific, Dave. I can't, for me, it sounds like it's a terrific safety device, and are you positioning it as that?
Oh, absolutely, and I agree with you. It would greatly improve safety, and the hurdle that we all have to get over as an industry now is to get to a level where that becomes a type approvable product. The technology is there. We can do it right now. We just gotta get it to a level where the various type approval agencies are happy with that, and of course being that it's wireless, there's some additional concerns that needs to be addressed, but the technology is definitely there. We're ready, and it would greatly improve the overall safety of the vessel, no question. That's the whole purpose of it.
Terrific. Well, thank you very much for your time. I know you guys have been generous with it. It's a busy show, and I know you got a lot of other people to see, but we appreciate you stopping by here today. Thank you
Very much.